Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Circuit Punk, and I'm here to give you a Bleach 26 review. First of all, let's say that this is my first video, quote unquote. Currently do not have a video camera, therefore I will be doing more of a podcast streaming. But the reason why we're doing this whole thing is for you to view the panels of the manga that we are reviewing, not see my face. If you really need to, I will be getting a camera soon for different types of videos. But I think I'm just going to stick to this type of segment for the reviews. Alright, let's get into it. So viewing the first panel, page 1, a torrent of blood, and you see Zaraki's blade flowing with a wave of blood following it, splattering to the ground. This is the battle. You see Kenpachi, either Kenpachi or Unohana's foot slam on the ground, and Kenpachi's taking another slash. Well, Zaraki gets cut. See, it looks like on the chest, face area. And we see Unohana asking Kenpachi with a smile on her face, "You thought I was dead. I had died." She's like soft, so soft. So she's like, "This is the reason that I became proficient at Kido," healing herself. And as on the panel, you can see Unohana actually healing herself, which I think is a pretty neat idea for Kubo to throw in there, that she can heal herself while in battle. It's pretty interesting. So, and after that, of course, we get a look at Zaraki, and then Unohana says Bankai, and is the name Minazuki, which everyone thought is the Shikai name. But I've heard that the kanji is the same name, but apparently the kanji is different. I don't know. But we see all this blood just flowing everywhere. We get this U shape coming from the hilt of her sword, and it's just into her other hand. And it's just trickling down. Kenpachi's got a nice surprised look on his face. And then in the next panel, we see just Unohana holding up her blade as the blood just running off of it. It's all black, but you could tell it's just covered in substance, some covered in blood. Whenever she said, "It is time to ring down the curtain." Zaraki screams, he's pretty excited, and we get this weird sadistic look from Unohana as she's going in, and then a clash. And then we get Zaraki, who begins to think, yes, he's like, and then we get these weird panels. Everyone thought that he was actually melting, which is not true. He's, it's like it's all melting away. It's all melting away. And we get, his skin starts to deteriorate. He says, he feels so alive. And then it's like, and then he starts questioning what's going on. And then around this time, all of his skin, his bones starting to show. It's kind of a gruesome, creepy scene, but it fits Zaraki pretty nicely. But he's like, wait, it's all so different, and then he asks why. And so that's it, and he's looking at Unohana, who's also being shown melting away too, and so that's it. He's like, I finally awoken from my slumber. He's like, in my dreams, he's replayed the fight between him and Unohana countless times. He's like, it never occurred to me that standing toe to toe with her really meant, until now, what it really meant. Like what it would really mean to him to do it. And it's like, until now, you have my eternal thanks for finally opening my eyes. So thank you. This is true battle. So basically what he's saying there is that he's, as we've seen the cutscene, or not the cutscenes, the flashbacks, he, and up until this point, Zaraki's pretty much just trumped everybody he's faced, but he's always, apparently from what Unohana said, shackled himself, so here he is unshackling, and that's what that is meant for. It's a metaphorical thing, where he's melting away, his skin comes off and stuff like that, but that's what's to say, it's all coming off. He's going at his full potential, because when he looks at Unohana, she's already a skeleton, let's just say, like she's all bone, which signifies that she had been using her full potential from the get-go. and now Zaraki's finally locking into his. So it's that deep layer that finally just breaking out those layers of shackles, which I got out of the whole skin deal. But anyway, so we get, after all that said, after the true battle segment, we get Zaraki with his typical smirk, his wide grin, and Unohana with just a somber look on her face. It's not a sadistic one. It's more like the Unohana that we're used to. But, she begins to think, can I share a dirty little secret with you? And I think that's pretty, I don't know. For seeing Unohana like a dirty little secret is just kind of provocative, really. She's like, I'm infatuated with crossing blades. It consumes me. And she's like, there's even that phrase doesn't do it justice. Then she goes on to say, I've known from that very moment while you stood there clueless. Isn't it funny, Zaraki Kenpachi? And this is Kubo. Like, he likes to throw around like just random ass poetically phrased things like, I've known from that very moment while you stood there clueless. But then again, it could just be the particular translations that, I don't know if they wanted, I don't know. So they just translate it, and whatever word comes up, and that's not what they put. And then you're like, what? But she ends up like going back to that. But she's like, you close yourself off so that you could cross blades to your heart's content, which means he shackled himself. Unohana, on the other hand, began healing to open herself to the exact same way. So whenever she was fighting, she'd take wounds, she'd heal, or she'd heal the other person, like we've seen that she's done to Zaraki. Everyone who called that, by the way, congratulations. I was one of them who didn't know what the hell was going on, but I did notice that blood spatter on her face after she stabbed him countless times in the throat and shit stuff. Anyway, she continues, but now I am certain the strength that I wrought was for this very moment. The title Kenpachi can only be bestowed on one in an era. To one in an era. That is ironclad and wears our destinies collide. You see, when two behemoths butt heads, only one of two things can happen. The blade will either devour or nurture the other behemoth. This blade in my hand will. And then, dot, 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 dot. And then we get the flashback, and she's looking over a young Kenpachi who, and it's raining, it's nice, whatever. Looking over Kenpachi, who's just blood puddle. He's laying face first in blood puddle. It's like, and she says, this boy is befitting of the title Kenpachi. And then we get a look at him back to the fight. He's smirking, and she's just got that somber look on her face. And then she says, farewell, you are the only man in this world who ever brought me true joy. And we see her getting impaled. Now, a lot of people think that it's her chest. People have argued that it's her throat. What I think this is actually, when we get to the next chapter, he actually stabbed through the scar that he left her, which is going to be a nice little thing, a nice twist of deals. So, but we'll see. Good chapter overall, I'd say. I felt like it was pretty redundant, though. Every chapter so far in this whole entire fight, we've got Unohana saying, you shackled yourself, and then this one's like, you shackled yourself, you're unshackling yourself, I shackled myself, or I like to prolong the battle. And I can't wait if they animate this. I would really like to see it, but I feel like it was just, whenever I see Kenpachi come up on the battle scene and stuff, like the Nortora fight, like that was, they're epic moments, they're epic fights. I love all those fights. But this one began awesome. Like everyone thought I hyped it, but it turned out to be somewhat disappointing to me so far. Do I think Unohana's dead? No way. We saw her stab Kenpachi in the throat and her heal herself. And unless her Bankai is kind of like, what Ichigo's is increases the power or, just her physical attributes. But I highly doubt that. There's going to be this fight's going to continue, and there's going to be some sort of ability she uses during that. Like maybe, what am I trying to think of? The damage she gets inflicted upon herself is inflicted onto her enemy kind of thing. I don't know. Just an idea, but I don't think she's dead, and I don't think Kubo's gonna kill her off, because really, I feel like just like basically almost every other fight he's ever been in that we've seen, he never really finishes his opponent unless they really push it, kind of deal. Like Noritora, like he wasn't gonna kill him unless he kept, until he kept bitching about not dying. He's like,
"Oh, I'm stronger than you are. Where are you going? I'm probably just gonna die when I stand up, but let me tell you what, I'm stronger than you are. Shinigami, yeah."
But he wasn't, But I think also that he kind of has a connection with Unohana, so I don't think he wants to kill her off anyhow, regardless of what she's trying to push or what bullcrap, like, one Kenpachi thing, because, Kenpachi's never cared about the rules anyway, but, yeah, so I don't think he's going to kill her. It just wouldn't make sense to me, really, to just kill off a character like that. It made sense with Yama, but not her. Something else I would like to point out, last chapter, a lot of people got confused about this, or just, was questioning about it, debating it. It can stop. She mentioned that she was stronger than everyone but Kenpachi, or Zaraki, That doesn't mean she was stronger than Old Man Yama. That doesn't mean she was stronger than Shunsui. We don't know, What it meant was everyone that she's already fought. The only person that was stronger, or that, really who gave a good fight, was Kenpachi himself. So, that just gets nipped in the bud. I feel like people take these translations and they run up the flagpole with rumors and debates that really don't need to be debated at all. You just need to look into the context a little bit. Also, I would like to point out that I called a while back that this was just like a freaking, like a nutty romance between the two. And, so far, you're the only man that's ever brought me joy. Yeah, it's a freaky type of, I don't know, bloodlust romance between the two. I don't know. They're common characters. You wouldn't think they are, but I don't know. Who knows, really. Can't wait for the next chapter. Hopefully, I want the story to progress a little bit. I want to know, so far we haven't seen anything from Kenpachi. Oh, his shackles, whatever. I was hoping to see something new. Maybe not a Bankai or anything like that, but him having to resort to other tactics. Like in this fight, it was supposed to be his hardest fight ever, and he didn't do kendo or anything, makes you think, really. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I think this whole fight's not even over with. But we'll see. Anyway, like I said, good chapter. It could have been a lot better for me, but, whatever. It seems short, but that happens when you get a lot of fighting, but there's a lot more dialogue in this one, at least. Or it seemed like there's more, but there's just a bunch of ramblings, really, and stuff that we already knew. We know they're shackles. We know! But yeah. Like, subscribe, whatever. If you like this video, if you enjoyed it, please let me know. I'm going to do another video segment kind of deal where maybe I just start doing this anyway, where I don't review, per se, the panel for panel, where I just go into a discussion and just talking about rumors, miscontextual understandings, or contextual misunderstandings, I should say. Wow, I'm just horrible.